We got to take this piece off here. The plate on the bottom is solid. We got a little bit back here in the back corner that we might have to deal with, but other than that, she's getting pretty close. She's getting pretty close to slipping in there. I do have to I did cut it, half an inch too short, so I have to cut it a second time, but I just wanted to make sure and get that fit in as well as possible before I do the final cut. So I think it's not too bad on the inside. I think I can neutralize that with some vinegar and water and let it soak for a couple of days and just kill all of it, and then we'll have to patch it up. Well, I know she don't look like much, but this is the most important part of this piece. I have my dear friend Mike just donated me a whole front clip, and this is the inner fender that I need for that. No holes. Look, no holes. I got the passenger side inner fender done. She probably needs another coat of paint on her, but she's primed. I sanded it. I used the DA on it and busted everything off of it. She's got a couple of, the regular mounting holes, things like that, but I'm really not too worried about those right now. I just wanted to get it in paint and get it cleaned up and get it protected, because it's a damn sight better than that. So, because we got bolt holes, baby. Alright, so, if you want to know how to kill rust, well, there you go. That's a vinegar bath with the end of that fender in it, and we're going to let that sit for a couple of days and just murder that rust. And I'll show you how that turns out in a couple of days. I don't know if I took a picture of it before I put it off, but this was just covered in goo, and now she's softened completely up. Looky there, looky there. So we're gonna ooh, yeah, this is where it was sitting. Here you can see the line, and this goo is what came off of it, and that's just 100% vinegar. And we're gonna take this out to the back patio, and we're gonna thoroughly wash this off, because if you don't get the vinegar, the chemical, off of it, it will continue to eat the metal past this point and make it even worse. So we're gonna take a scrub brush out there with just soap and water, and we're gonna wash this thing down and see exactly. I'll bring it back and we'll see exactly what we're sitting with. Well, there we be. It pulled all that trash off of it. There's a little bit left, just surface, but that's also been neutralized too, so it's gone. So all that has been neutralized, never to rust anymore. I don't have a lot left. When you do that, it does end up telling you where you're sitting. First thing next day I want to show you is that's the vinegar. That's the vinegar that the fenders was in. Now that's what came out of that driver's side fender after 7 days. That's kind of gross. Well, she's coming along. I got holes patch. I have the one patch panel I bought. I have it on, and she's pretty straight now. This one came from LMC, and the back edge was not worked. It was sticking straight out. I had to cut it, work it in, get it to work for the back edge, but she's pretty good. I have to do a little bit of dabbage right here because it wasn't quite perfect. These are repops, so it isn't genuine GM, but this one was just as much work as putting the patch panels on the passenger side. But when you get her down, that's what she looks like. Now this one, I had to start here. I started on this edge and I worked my way across, and it was good, high on this side, low on this side. So I had to mess with it, hammer it, get it good, low on this side, high on that side, high on this side, low on that side, low on that side, high on this side. And this is, I did tack, 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 tack. I worked it all the way across, made sure my gap stayed good, and then you come back in and fill in after you have it set. But I don't know, that's just as much work doing it this way, all one big piece, making sure everything is fit right for a large area as opposed to some small patch panels. I don't know, your call. We are going to have to do some patch pieces on that on the inside also, but this is all about that, doing it with what you have instead of spending a ton of money. Yeah, I could buy a Fender and it could get here and it could cost me several hundreds of dollars, or I spent that $13 on that patch panel and I'm going to use the pieces off the other truck to patch for the other spots that's on this Fender and the other Fender to save some money. And besides, that's the fun of it. I'm trying to do the most I can with the least amount of money. Here's what I found on passenger side Fender. All the metal is there. They didn't use a big huge flap of fiberglass, but I do have fill material here that I'm going to take out. So this is a pretty simple one. Small patch panel here, small patch panel, smaller patch panel there. Getting there. This is the passenger side, and I got this one in. I got this one about 3/4 of the way tacked in, and be some grinding. I still have to patch another piece right in here, but and I know. Why didn't I just buy a patch panel for this one? I could just cut it all and did it, because I wanted to see if I could actually do it. I wanted to see if I could actually patch it, cut them. I went to the local place and got a piece of steel. Cost me 10 bucks. Cut pieces out of, and actually I'm kind of using the good stuff from the other Fender to use as patch for this, and just bending it up by hand and playing with it. Tack it, hammer, tack it, hammer, tack it, hammer. So to be continued. Well, it's been a long weekend, and I made the wife a little mad for being out here all this time, but 90% of this is done. I got a couple little, I got the emblem holes on that one right there to fill in. Other than that, she's finished. Rough. Now, I'm still going to have to go across these with body filler and finish these out, but all in all, they're 90% done, and now it's just a matter of blocking and sanding and finishing up. And this is what we were dealing with. I don't know if you can see it. See the lights? That's the kind of stuff I was dealing with, and that's a piece that I actually cut out of one of the Fenders. And this is what was in the backside of most of the bad spots in the Fenders. This is from a front door. This is just, fly netting out of a screen door to use as backer for the filling plate that they just gobbled into the holes. That ain't the way you fix things, guys. I mean, that's the way they might have done things in the 70s or 80s to make, get a paint job out the door, but that ain't what I'm doing with this. This is for me. So these are done. Now, this is what I want to say. I did the patch panels on the passenger side. I bought a patch panel for the driver's side because I've never done patch panels on a truck like this. And I was curious. I was curious if it was as much of a time saver as it was going to be for me to make my own as opposed to me use a patch panel. And I got to tell you guys, it was about the same amount. I mean, it's maybe I'm quicker or whatever, but I mean, it was not hard to make my own patch panels and bend them and get them to fit. And as it was, I mean, that patch panel from LMC, it was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. And there was a lot of work to get the body panels lines to match.
They didn't really match on the backside next to the door. I'm gonna have to play with it once I get it mounted back on the truck, because the door spacing is going to be off, because if you know, the backside of those fenders they're bent into a lip like this. Well, it comes from the box like this, straight up and down at a 90. It's formed back into the panel, which can be problematic because I didn't want to warp the new panel trying to get it into shape. So I ended up having to weld 3/4 of it on and then work it after the fact. And I got it pretty close, but it's still going to be a lot of work. I will say that, LMC's piece was, I mean, for the Fender, it's a repop, guys. And none of them are perfect, and like, as long as it's close and I can play with it, and I'm probably gonna have to zip it a couple more times just to get the inner fender, the back of the fender line just perfect, and to try to get the body line for the door. But all in all, they're 95% done. And so if y'all are still here, like, share, and subscribe. Give me one of those. Hit those likes. Those likes help the algorithm get it out to more people. Y'all have a great day. Been a long weekend. I'm going to go eat something. Y'all be good.